Welcome to my capstone. My name is Charles, and today I will talk about COVID-19 and how it is expected to impact education. COVID-19 is a very bad virus that started in China in December 2019. In January of 2020, it made its way into America, and it infected so many people and caused so many deaths. The virus coming to the US impacted the economy, the healthcare industry, and of course, education. On March 8th, Scarsdale schools were one of the first districts to adopt distance learning. After that, almost all the districts in the U.S. also adopted distance learning, and students started learning virtually. Now let's finally get to my main inquiry question. How is COVID-19 projected to affect education? Next year, class size will decrease to about 10 or less students because we will need to stay 6 feet apart at all times and have our own desks. If we have all 24 students in a class, we won't be able to do that. Also, next year, there will be staggered schedules. A staggered schedule is half the students going in one time and the other half going in the other time. One of my interviewees said he hopes that schools will only have one set of students each day because logistics like sanitizing and healthcare checks will be a lot easier. As a part of next year, students will have a large component of virtual learning. They will have virtual learning on their off days and distance learning if school closes for a second wave of the virus, which is likely to happen. My interviewees both said that there should be an increase in the amount of synchronous learning compared to what we have now. Socialization opportunities won't be the same next year. Lunch will be in the classroom and recess is likely to occur, but it will be very limited. There won't be any group assemblies, and at the beginning of school, instead of congregating in the hall, students will have to wait in line to get their health checked. Now that I talked about the short-term impact of COVID on education, I'm going to talk a little bit about the expected long-term impact of COVID on education. No one really knows what's going to happen, but there could be some interesting possibilities. I interviewed two people from different backgrounds, and they have very different ideas about what we can expect from long term. Mr. Ream is the executive director of Launch, a charter middle school in Queens, and prior to that, he was a teacher and principal. He thinks things are going to go back to normal after next year. Mr. Harbour is an entrepreneur in the education technologies industry. An entrepreneur is someone who starts a business. He was CEO and co-founder of SchoolNet, but then later sold it to Pearson. He continues to work in the education technology industry. He thinks teachers will teach from home and only the students that need a physical place to be can go to school. He also thinks that some high-quality K-12 online schools will be created. This will provide a lot of flexibility. For the longer term, online education opportunities will be much improved. I know this because no one knew COVID-19 was going to be this bad, so everyone was unprepared. Now that they are prepared, teachers are starting to have better online education opportunities. Both of my interviewees said that online education advanced 10 years within a month because teachers were forced to. For the long term, there is going to be more education technology used. For example, when we had regular school, we just had school and we didn't have any education technology. Now that we can't have school because of COVID-19, we got introduced to Zoom and a lot more teachers and students started using Google Classrooms. Mr. Harbour also agrees. For more information, go to these three websites.